Hey, and welcome to the final episode of the Engage project. Here it is, about a year after the project started. It's part 10, the series finale, and what a finale we've got lined up for you. Let's take a quick look. We've got an M&M topper, more track cleaning pads, a new Engage loco, and of course, lots and lots of M&Ms. Everyone has been treated to something really special today as well. For once, the office is clean and tidy. Usually it looks like a cluster bomb's just gone off, but not today, folks. Oh no, because today is the Engage Project series finale. Right, so what shall we take a look at first? How about that M&M's hopper? Okay, so here it is. This is by Ratio. They're a really good company, do loads and loads of kits, really recommend them. And it's the Engage Trackshed series, and it's called a Curling Tower. Now, I know it's called a Curling Tower, but I don't quite agree with that. I think that needs rubbing out, and maybe M&M's Tower. How about that, M&M's Tower? Don't worry, it's just a box. I don't collect boxes. Okay, so, be careful, kids. Let's just very, very gently open this box and have a look inside, because I'm going to have to obviously assemble this and get it functioning to a degree so that we can use it as a dispenser for our hoppers. Oh my gosh. Right, okay, that's not too bad. It looks worse than it is. There's lots and lots of bits, but putting them together I think is going to be pretty straightforward. And look at that, they even include a little photo just to remind you of what the end product's supposed to look like. And I'm guessing these instructions? Yes, wow! Oh my gosh, look at that. We even get some really fine wire. Wow, okay, that's pretty cool. Instructions for assembly of curling tower. Assemble the frame and assemble the hopper. Right, talking about assembly and modification and stuff, I think the one thing we might have to be cautious of is this hopper here. I might have to modificate it, it's a technical term. I might have to modify the bottom so that M&Ms can drop through quite clearly. But we'll see how we get on. It looks pretty straightforward. Oh my gosh, there's like, wow, there's even a huge like chute, like a huge shaft of some sort going up the side. Add electric drive components and control box. Oh, if only that was real, if only it actually would. If only that was like a little Hoover, little vacuum cleaner, it actually sucked up the M&Ms and just deposited them into the hopper. Ah, maybe, future project. Okay, I think I can do this. I'll do the bare minimum so that we have a hopper of some sorts, and then I'll place it over the track and we'll see how we get on. See you in a moment. Okay, so we've assembled the main components needed to make the hopper. I'll just get those glued together and then we'll let it dry. Hey, and welcome back to the Engage Project Part 10. As you can see, the main struts, the main supports for the hopper are drying. They're doing fine, they're doing really great. But what's of interest is this hopper here. Just look at that. Do you reckon that's big enough for an M&M to drop through? I'm not so sure. There's only one way to really find out, isn't there? Ta-da! Right. And what's good about this test is I get to eat anything that comes through. Right. Here we go. There's the hopper. There's the M&M. Oh no! It's stuck. It won't fit through. Right. We're going to have to make that hole a little bit bigger. We definitely don't need the base that it wanted us to put in. Look at that. How silly. That wouldn't allow many M&Ms to fall through at all. Throw that in the bin. And I'll make that bigger. Okay. Right, we have success. Here's our hopper. You can see how it's been modified. So basically I've just snipped out the bottom bits and then bent them back a little bit. So it looks okay actually. It still looks really quite realistic, and once it's all spray painted and stuff it'll be fine. But the most important thing is, watch. Here we have one M&M. Here we have one modified hopper. Hooray! Look at that. If I grab a little handful of them, fantastic. And what's even better is I get to eat all these M&Ms now. Okay, so as you can see, the main structure of the hopper here has been partially assembled. I'm just letting that dry. The hopper is all dry and good to go. The instructions do say to leave off the last girder and the last strut. Oh, beam. Yeah, leave off one beam and one girder right at the very end so that the hopper can fit in nice and easily. So I'm just letting that dry, then I'll put the hopper in place, and that will do. That will do for this part of the project. I don't need to assemble the whole thing and do all the fancy fans and electrics and stuff and then paint it and make it look dead ace. But I will do that one day. So that will do for now. Okay, welcome back. Let me just get my snot rag out of the way. The hopper is done. As you can see, look, I positioned it just over the N-gauge track just there, and I'm going to show you a little bit of a test. So if I just pan the camcorder up a little bit and then zoom in like thus. Okay, how about that? How cool does that look? Right, so yeah, if I just grab one of these little hoppers, and if I run the hopper underneath, obviously a locomotive will do this properly, but just sort of position the hopper underneath like that. Then I get some M&Ms, obviously. Watch this. This is so cool. Look at that. Oh, one's fallen out. There we go. Just push it to the other side. Look at that. How brilliant is that? It's like if the Class 58 was actually pulling these through or pushing them through really slowly, and then somebody was just carefully putting so many in at a time, it would fill them up perfectly. I think that's fantastic. Right, okay, so we've got a hopper, we performed a little test, that's all great. There's still the really fine wire on the back of these instructions, and obviously there's still the rest of it to assemble. And just look at all this, look at all the spare sprue you get. I mean, how much was this kit? This kit was £21 according to the little sticker on there, so I probably paid about 20 or something. I reckon 10 quid of it is just spare plastic. Look at all that. But I'm not going to throw it away. I'll tell you for why. Because basically, to hang on to stuff like this means that you can use it later on when you're doing little bits of detailing, and if you need spare plastic for something, or you want to make some scrap looking bits of wood or metal and stuff like that's perfect for that. So we'll hang on to it. There's these little struts that it does tell you to put on the bracing, and I think I probably will because it's not too hard to do that, so I'll probably put those on later. And then we've got the rest of the kit in the bag for me to assemble at some point in the future. But for now, the most important thing is that we've got a hopper and it works. Ah, where's the bridge? There's no bridge. That's no good. There's the bridge. So the next stage is to assemble the bridge and then perform a little bit of track maintenance. Okay, so the bridge is in place, as you can see. The little contacts have been swung over. Electric should conduct through there, no problem now. The little support beam is underneath and in position. That really does help. That laptop there's running a Minecraft server at the moment, so I can't close it and switch it off and stuff. And over here, yeah, this little Raspberry Pi, that's replaced the computer that was just there, that was acting as a print server. That's now gone, and it's been replaced by that. Such technology. Right, oh, look how shiny the track is. Okay, so on with cleaning the track. What are we using? Yes, we're using this. This is the little Woodland Scenics one. No, not Woodland. I keep calling it Woodland Scenics. The tidy track. Yeah, it is Woodland Scenics. That's why I keep calling it Woodland Scenics, because it is Woodland Scenics. So I've got some spare ones. I'm going to put those on, and then I'm actually going to soak it, not with our usual Trap Magic, because I'm running quite low on that, and I need it for the Battle of the Shunters. So I'm going to use their own clean track solution. It should be good enough, should do the job. So I'll give that a whirl and then get it all nice and clean. Okay, so we're back. All the track's been done. It wasn't too bad actually. If we just fly over here. Oh look, pterodactyl. There we go. This is the cleaning pad. This is the state of the cleaning pads after the cleaning has been done. They're not too bad. That's pretty good. So the track's definitely fine. We've just done a test and it was pretty good. It wasn't perfect. I do love that. Okay, zoom back over to here and right, let's get the locomotive going. So this is our Class 58. It's just pulling a little test wagon at the moment just to check everything's okay with pulling a train. Let's get it going. Now a couple of these pads have come off the wall, so I'm just going to have to temporarily lift those up like that. But it should be okay. Yeah. I'm going to go into town and get some of the super strong red ones because they're really tough. That's not my boyfriend. It's basically just a really cool card from the museum in London, and I thought it was ace. Right, look at this. Oh, and this is one of the hardest bits. Yes! And then we zoom to the other dead hard bit. Oh, brilliant. Okay, it goes past the Raspberry Pi. And then behind the pterodactyl, which looks like he needs a good meal. Heading up past Craig's Doctor Who stuff. Past the keyboard. Yep, still going okay. And of course it's got this reverse, basically this loop to go around, and then we should see it go down this bit here. This is where it failed last time. No, it's okay. It's doing absolutely fine. Fingers still crossed. Here it heads down Printer Pass. Yep, so far so good. Again, coming up the ramp to the bridge. If it's going to die, this is where it's going to die. No, she's doing okay. Across the join in the middle. And then she's approaching the second ramp. Oh, nice. Nice, nice, nice. Pass along the paints. Around the back of the speaker and the phone, underneath the mouse, underneath the keyboard cable, which is thicker than something industrial. Right, brilliant. Ah, fantastic. So we have a working hopper, we have a working loop, and we have loads of hoppers ready waiting for all these M&Ms. On to the next stage. Okay, so let's just put the hopper out of the way for now. I've got a little bit of yard tidying up to do. Let's just get rid of all these Vimto sweets. Like that. Because these are going to be filled up with M&Ms. So we need these to be totally empty. Right, there we go. So all the hoppers are ready to be shunted now. The Class 58's all good to go, so that's brilliant. All we need to do is use the hopper somewhere sort of around there, I think is probably perfect really. So if we can get the train all set up and then going along here behind the keyboard really slowly and then underneath the hopper, and I'll basically just put all the M&Ms in as it goes past. So yeah, we just need, well, we could do with a shunter. Okay, so here we are. We're in the mood for shopping. We're on a mission to acquire a new shunting locomotive for the N-Gauge project. That Class 58 is just way too big to do all the shunting on its own. It shouldn't have to do any shunting. So we're here to pick out a shunter for the N-Gauge project. And, ooh, which one should I go for? Decisions. I think I'm going to go for this one. How about that? That is a gorgeous Graham Farish Class 08, and it's absolutely perfect. Okay, so welcome back to the layout. Again, we have our little Class 08 locomotive all ready to go. All the hoppers are ready to go too, but before I actually put it on the track and get it going, I'm going to have to just get this Class 58 out of the way. So I'm going to run it up here, put it in, park it into its little siding here, which is just for the Class 58. I'll put the shunter on and then we'll get everything going. But before I do that, before I move on, I've just got to do a little shout out to a guy called Luke. I hope you're watching, but this locomotive was probably bought, well, it was bought ages ago now, and it was bought from Trident Trains, just outside Nantwich, and whilst I was there picking it up, because Richard had it in reserve for me for a while, whilst I was picking it up, this lad was there called Luke, who has seen loads of my videos, and he popped down with his, I think, his partner to just buy some rolling stock, basically, to buy some train stuff. So he was actually there as I was buying this, as I was picking up this Class 08. So that's quite cool. And we said hi and had a good talk about trains and stuff. So yeah, hey Luke, hope you're enjoying the Engage project. So there we go. Little bit of a quick shout out. Right, so let's get the Class 58 parts up, shall we? If I just reverse direction, it makes it underneath the hopper. Oh, it would help if all of its wheels were on. There we go. Okay, so there we go. It hits the keyboard cable. I have got a plan for the keyboard cable, by the way. You'll have to keep your eyes peeled for a special coming up, because we do get the keyboard cable, the keyboard cable out of the way finally. Right, change the points, change the direction as well, and then just pop that into its siding like that. Perfect. Right, so if I switch the points again, that siding is dead now, watch. Nothing. No response at all. So, let's put this shunter on and hope that it works okay. Hopefully it should do. Let's put it on that way. Right, I've never ran it before, so I don't know what it's going to be like. Let me just zoom in a little bit so you can see it a little bit better. How about that? Here we go. Oh, look at that! That is beautiful! Honestly, that mechanism is just so smooth and so responsive. Right, time to do some shunting. Okay, so the only way I could get the shunter to work in the end was to basically... Oh, go on, change. The only way I could get it to work in the end was to basically move the loco around, swap it around, swap the ends, to get it doing everything in reverse, basically. It's really annoying, but there's something up with the coupler at the front of the Class 08. It's just so floppy, it just doesn't want to connect to anything. Seriously. It's about as strong as the hair off the back of a wasp or something. So, we should now, I think, yes. Nope. What's stopping it now? Nothing. There we go. It's going. Just. But it's, as I say, it's in reverse, as you'll see now. The locomotive is in reverse. It should be doing it the other way, ideally. Well, to be honest, it doesn't need to push it that far, does it? We're going to have the Class 58. Well, which direction? Yeah, we'll have the Class 58 pull it through, so actually, it can carry on. It can push them all the way back to just beyond the siding for the Class 58, where it's collided with the super thick, super industrial strength cable from the keyboard again, because we still don't have anything to lift that out of the way. We do, but I haven't built it yet. Right, so as you can see, the Class 08 has pushed the hoppers, the rake of hoppers, just beyond the siding for the Class 58. It had to do it this way round, as I say, because the coupling is rubbish, but the one at the back is fine. So it's time for the Class 08 to get out of the way now, which I think, yes, there we go. So off it goes, and then it's time to get the Class 58 powered up again. So I shall just park this up in a siding, so we'll just send it down there, and then flick the points, and flick and flick and flick, and it should end up somewhere down here, in theory. If the track's clean enough. It could be just the points. Yeah, it's the points. Look, see when I touch it. Yeah, I told you about that. Basically, it's the blades, the side of the blades have to be spotless as well, otherwise the electricity just doesn't flow. Anyway, we can kill that siding dead, and then just pan the camera around to the Class 58 section. Bring this siding to life, and the Class 58 should power out of there now. Yeah, there we go. Fantastic. Flip the points. Right, the Class 58, its rake of hoppers, and the M&Ms are all ready. Incidentally, just before we move on, as you can see, I'm solving this problem of the mega thick cable coming from the keyboard with a can of Humbrol paint. So not exactly the most professional finish in the world, definitely not. But I do have a solution planned, and it basically involves these. This is Plastistruct, Plastruct, and basically these are little plastic girders. They're perfect for N-gauge, as you can see, and cost about £5.36 per pack, although with a little bit of discount it's slightly less. And I was basically going to assemble a sort of gantry, a sort of overhead system, and then basically affix those to a sheet of plasticard, like this, which is £1.30 for a sheet. So really inexpensive. Basically cut out some bases with some feet out of this stuff, put them down onto the surface of the desk, fix some vertical ones, fix some horizontal ones, and before you know it, you've got a perfect structure for hoisting the cables over the track. It's certainly going to be fine for like this really thin cable. I've just knocked a hopper over there. Engage! Oh, never again. This cable is really thin and weighs nothing, and that's what goes to the mouse. But the cable for the keyboard, this is seriously so thick and tough and rigid. It's almost like it's an iron girder. This just will not be up to the job, so I'm going to need something else for that. I don't know what, but it's going to have to be really strong, really, really strong, because this cable is really, really tough. And you obviously don't want to bend it too much, because this is at the point where it goes right into the keyboard and it could damage. I don't want to damage it just yet. Definitely not. The keyboard was about 50 quid, I think. Right, so yeah, I just wanted to show you that basically, and again, you should hopefully see that when we do a special sort of around Christmas.
You know, I really just fancy an M&M.
Ah, really? I'm on it.
Mmm. That's really good. What I'd really like though now is a cup of tea. Do you know what we should have?
No. N-O. End of.